The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Monday, boys and girls. Welcome into the final week. Really coughing at the intro. Wow. Over my intro. Wow. How about that? How are you guys? Pause. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston vs. The Book. Same on Twitter, X, and we're replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159 today. Special guests coming up later on today. We'll talk to our guy, Kevin from Circa, who was a little salty with Dave because he was supposed to come on the live show on Friday. And we didn't get to him because we had a lot of stuff going on Friday, and he was all mad. And so he's all right, fine. We'll come on previewing episode 2 of the 9 Million. Episode 2. Are we calling it a docuseries, documentary? What are we calling this thing?
I don't know what they're calling it. I know what to call you early. Professor Perrault today because of class. So if you guys are here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I apologize. I got a little choked up because we were starting early. That's why I coughed during the opening. I didn't mean to do that. I tried to hit the mute button before I hooked to it right there. Coughed, whatever that was. Sorry. What? I'm just seeing who's paying attention. Wake them up early.
Not allowed.
Been up early. Long weekend. Sitting in the book, signing people up with the Brigade Proxy Service for the Circa Survivor Contest and the Circa Millions Contest all weekend. Contest weekend was fun. If you didn't see the shows, how did you not? I don't know. But so scrape the shillies together. We'll be entering the Circa Millions this week. What will the field do now? I don't pick ATS by jersey colors. Tell them, Vitalis. Make sure you text the number if you want to use us. There's other proxies, guys. And I ain't hard selling nobody. If you want to use the Brigade Proxy Service, it's one fee, one deadline. All you got to do is text 702-570-8255. That's 870, or that's 570-TALK. Look at that beautiful lid. Daniel G., you know what team we're doing for the Circus Sports team of the day. That's today. It's the Lions. But we got a lot of things. We got to get this show done, in the can, wrapped up, because first day of school today. My favorite thing about today is related because I got the call this morning, first day of classes back east and all that other stuff. So it's a new day. It's a new season.
Yeah.
And it's an early start time for the BVB.
I've got some fun things to read on my favorite thing about today. I asked my Twitter following, what would one piece of advice you would give yourself?
I saw that.
If you could go back and tell yourself on the first day of classes, either freshman, sophomore year, what would the advice be?
I've seen that.
So far, the best one is don't let a $20 sundress cost you 18 years.
Oh!
Child support.
Oh! Oh! Whoa! I know I got the best piece of advice when I left for college.
What's that?
My mom and dad each had separate talks with me.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, and she didn't have to say much, but when she said it, she said, I need to talk to you about college. I said, great. She said, sit down. We sat at the kitchen table, just the two of us.
Okay.
She said, if you get a girl pregnant,
stay gone.
I'm going to chop it off.
Oh, my dad. Yes. My father, because my dad had me at 20 and my mom was 18. So I had that talk for quite a bit. It was, I'm going to tie it in a knot.
And she said, I'm going to chop it off. She had a big set of knives. She looked right at me and I was like, okay, Ma, got it.
Easy.
Anything else?
Right.
She said no and got up from the table. And I was like, okay, Mama ain't playing. Mama can see she didn't play. There was no play. And that meant, wrap it up, bag it up, smack it up, flip it, rub it down, all that other stuff. But No babies.
Nope. I avoided that, luckily. So we'll get to that later in the show. Okay, guys, Big Ten Survivor Contest. It's Saturday at noon Eastern deadline. Okay, the 31st at noon. So we are into the final week where you guys can sign up for this.
You got to pick a game this week?
No. You have to pick a game this week, but you can pick it whenever you want because there's games on Sunday. So the Big Ten schedule for this week, you've got games on
Saturday.
You have 3 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday.
Oh,
so you can sign up all the way to the 31st at noon and then use the Saturday or the Sunday game as your Survivor Contest entry.
Aha. Okay.
So if you're late, you could get stuck. So if you want to make sure you get the full complement of every team that plays FBS versus FBS, there's no FCS availability. So this is what it looks like, guys. When you go to sign in to pick, this is what you're going to do. Okay. This is week 1 for what Splash Sports will ask you to do. So North Carolina, Minnesota, Florida Atlantic, Michigan State's Friday, Western Michigan, Wisconsin is Friday, UConn, Maryland, Penn State, West Virginia, Miami versus Northwestern. There's others available as well, but those are your top 6 first choices for the Survivor Contest. $100 to enter this contest, up to 5. We were going to do 3, but they're giving you 5 entries that are available if you'd like to be a part of this. You're going to log on to splashsports.com/BVB to enter. Okay. Splashsports.com/BVB to enter. The first game available is Minnesota, UNC, then Michigan State and Wisconsin. So if you're thinking about using one of those teams, you got to get into this before their game gets played on Thursday and Friday. Otherwise, you'll be subjected to taking the teams that will play Saturday or Sunday, depending on what time you guys sign up. So noon Eastern, Saturday, the 31st, is your deadline.
Let's go. I just got a text from Gio DeWap. I just signed up. He said, I just signed up 3 entries.
Good.
Right now. So it's time. Everybody waited.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't know my state wasn't legal. I see you, Mr. Stern, Coach Stern out in Jersey. Woo. It's legal in Jersey now.
It is.
You can sign up in Jersey now. And if you're close by in a state that's close to Jersey and you can't get where you're at signed up, just run across, sign up.
Yeah.
Might be taking a ride down to AZ
to
see if we could sign up here because we can't sign up in Nevada, unfortunately. But let's get some people signed up in that thing. Yeah. That's good.
So if you live in Iowa, sorry.
Why do everybody wait till the last minute?
Because it happens. Everyone, I mean, deadlines, that's what happens. You know, it's going to be one of those things. Michigan, thanks to CW, Michigan is now good. New York is still gray. Okay, so New York's the last state to be added. They said, last week, so maybe today, tomorrow, for New York to go legal for this. So hopefully quick. But Michigan, you're there. You're
Michigan good?
Michigan State. You guys are good. So
Michigan
you guys can jump in and be a part of this. Again, this is an old map, but this is the map of where it's legal to play Splash Sports. Canada, you have almost all of Canada except for, I think, Ontario, I think, is illegal, but the rest of the country is. So Canada, pretty much almost every province in Canada, Splash Sports is legal except for 1. So if you're up there, you guys can play and be a part of this. As we said, Michigan now, that is now available. But Iowa and Kansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, South Carolina, Pennsylvania is a bummer. That's a big one for us to not have it be legal there. But if you are in a surrounding state, Ohio, West Virginia, New Jersey, you guys are all legal. So you guys can be a part of this and be a part of the Big Ten Survivor Contest, which could get to 25,000 up to if we filled this thing up. But it is absolutely time to do this. If you've thought about it, wanted to do it, $100 entry, 14 weeks, 18 teams, winner take all for the first ever Big Ten Survivor Contest with BVB and Splash Sports. I'm super excited to watch and see how this is going to go. So I know I'll be driving over to Arizona at some point during this week to go grab a team myself to be a part of this and see how we can play it out and see who winds up winning this thing. So, okay, thank you. Everywhere but Quebec. Ontario is good. Thank you,
Zach the Hat.
Quebec is illegal. Still one of that country. Raftery, I can't answer this because you have to go read this. Sorry. There's ways around it. I don't know how much Splash Sports wants me to say that, but if you read the fine print, there is something that appears to be of that where you sign up, not necessarily where you are. If you have an account, you may be able to use it wherever you are. So just check it out on this. In Michigan, Blaze, you're going to sign up tonight. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Get on in there, and we'll see what happens with Michigan and Michigan State this year.
Blaze T1.
When you're going to use them. Okay, new thing that we're going to do this year. If you're a Big Ten fan going to Big Ten games, where has the BVB been? You guys have started this enough on social media that now it's actually time to do this, and we will do this whenever. Go to sporting events and send us tweets.
Tell him, Joe Onler.
That's
Look at the kid.
That's a Twins game and a WNBA game for the Lynx on the same day.
Man.
Joel went to a Twins game. He's from Iowa. Joel is one of our Brigade Proxy Service members, him and his brother. But they went to Minnesota. They went first to a baseball game, and then they went to a basketball game. Pretty good birthday weekend for his kid. It's pretty cool.
And he took him out of school to do it.
Missed the first day of school to do it.
Right. So I'm not advocating to miss school. And girls, if you're watching the show, don't miss class. Go to class.
Go to class.
All right. Don't skip classes. Cutting classes is not cool. Once in a while, you got to do it, I guess. But BVB lids look fantastic at sporting events. They wear very well. That made my day. I mean, we usually do favorite thing about today at the end of the show. But let's start off. The favorite thing about today is the pictures. You know, Rainmaker Lou of Football Guy 97.
He said it was only half a day anyway. Joel said it was only half a day.
Listen, write the excuse for the teacher. Tell them to text us. Tell them to come on and show, and we'll talk to them. That's fine. You know, we could have the kid on the show. It was great to see. When it happens, you definitely don't do anything on the first day. Good idea, Joel. Yeah. That's fun. That's definitely one of these things.
So take your hats, okay? You guys who have hats, I know this is going to make a rush for people who want to buy hats. I understand that. You guys
send them to the text line. I can go see the kid. He was busy last week, but I think we can get some stuff lined up and get out before football season.
702-570-8255. Send a text. Say, and you guys have been DMing me. I appreciate that. I'm just going to pass you on to Dave because I get it on my Twitter. Matt, I want a hat. Okay, I just give you I'm giving you this line. This is what I do. I say, here's a text line. Text Dave and go ahead and text us, and we'll get you into the system. We'll get you into the rotation and try to find a way to get you a hat no matter where you guys might be. So 702-570-8255. Take the hat to a sporting event. Take a picture of yourself wherever you may be. And for the entire rest of 24 and 25, guarantee post. Okay. We're putting you on the show. Where has the BVB been? And I'm going to try to keep track of all the different stadiums that we can get ourselves into for the BVB and where a hat will be seen. I'll do like a whole little montage thing, and I'm trying to make it all look pretty cool. At the end of the football season, let's see how many different stadiums we can get the hat to be photographed in.
I love this.
By the way, your kid's in New Jersey on the chat.
Hi, Kendall. Little Kinsig in the house. What's up from New Jersey? That's good. You guys didn't call me from breakfast this morning. That's okay. Daddy's busy anyway. No problem. We got the Onlers giving each other crap in the chat right now. Great. It's a family event. I mean, it is. The show is a family show, despite the fact that every once in a while we'll drop a bomb or something else. But Will's got us. Bacon Sig is here too. Bacon Sig's supposed to be in class, ain't she? What the hell is going on there? Where's your mother?
Can we pull up to a stadium and take a picture? Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You just, where are you? Like physically, not if you're inside the stadium, outside the stadium, either or. I mean, I just want to see how many different types of pictures we can get throughout the football season with NFL and college. I mean, I'm talking like, I don't care if you're at high school games. Like, you know, I'm going to take a BVB hat. I'm going to go see Gorman, who won over the weekend against San Aquinas. And they're back-to-back, or they're going for back-to-back national championships in high school football.
Yep.
And so I want to get over there because the father of one of Madeline's skating friends, his kid's a backup quarterback looking at going to playing in the Big Ten, actually. 6'6", gigantic quarterback. He's a backup, didn't play, but I want to go watch the team play. I'm going to take the BVB hat and take a picture at a Gorman game and then have, a chance to do that. So does a poker room count? Sure, Blue Spader. Yeah, absolutely. You have your hat. I mean, you were there over the 2 days with us for the live show.
Yep.
So yes, I mean, I just want to take pictures of the hat and where you are, and then we'll put it on the show.
Right.
And let's just by the fall, at the end of the football season, let's just see how many different types of shots we can put together And then I'll do a whole like montage thing that we can put together. It'll be fun. So for football season. All right. What happened this weekend? Oh my gosh. What a weekend. Otani Watch starts us off for the weekend. Otani goes 40 for 40 with a walk-off grand slam. He's the fastest player in Major League Baseball history to go to 40 home runs and 40 steals by 20 games. And he did it a year after he tore his UCL, Dave.
Yeah, ridiculous.
On the day, 1 year to a day, this guy goes 40 for 40, becomes the 6th member of the 40 for 40 club. And he does it 20 games faster than anyone else has ever done it. And he does it with a grand slam walk-off against Tampa.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a really fun moment. And then he homered again the next day. It's just nothing makes any sense with what he's doing.
He pitched off the mound before the game.
Yeah, I saw
for the
that.
first time off of a mound. He's now throwing.
Yeah.
And then he got hit in the 8th inning with a fastball on his wrist, which is like, no, you can't hit him right now.
I know.
Like, you can't stop what's going on. Like, this is awful.
There's nowhere to pitch him. That's the thing. You would think if you could get it inside and keep his hands close, you might be able to get him out. And he threw it inside and hit him. But I'm just impressed every day watching it as a baseball fan. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And, you know, we had some really good discussions at the book with some people that were here and in town and talking about it with baseball heads like, you know, Brandon and Brock. We're at the book yesterday. We were talking about it nonstop. I don't know if I want him to pitch because this is so good what he's doing.
Ever again.
I don't know, maybe a closer role, but I don't want to take away from this. I want the next 5 to 10 years of this at the plate. This is and oh, by the way, he steals bases.
Yeah.
He's going to get 50 steals before he gets 50 home runs. It's incredible.
I mean, it really is a remarkable run so far. And unfortunately for Aaron Judge, he would be the story. Aaron Judge hit 50 and 51 over the weekend. He's on pace to break his own record for home runs in the American League. And yet it's a secondary story outside of New York because of what Otani is doing across the, you know, on the other side of the country.
Well, I don't know about that. I think the Judge story is big back east.
Yeah.
We're out
New York.
west. And
in New York, it's not big in Boston. No one cares about Aaron Judge in Boston. So it's not big in Philly. No one cares about that. It's big in New York. For Yankee fans, this is a big story. But most of the country west of the Mississippi is looking at Otani. Talking about what he's doing.
What Judge is doing is unbelievable too.
It
Because
is.
he just doesn't see good pitches. And when he does, I don't know. At one point, somebody in the book just screamed out after he hit the home run, "Why do you keep pitching to him?" Well, when you tried to not pitch to him and walk him, and then, I mean, you can't walk him every time, can you? I don't think so. So
Bond's
he gets
treatment.
the pitch on, and I don't know. Baseball's, it's crazy because it's getting really good. There's so many storylines that have been 5 months developed, and it's all going to just go away, bye-bye, come Saturday.
Fair, but we're doing it at the top because we're going to give it its just due. It is Labor Day. It's the third and final poll here for the Major League Baseball season. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. Kind of look up and go, all right, it's now a sprint. It's not a marathon. It's a sprint here until the end of the regular season. And the White Sox have now lost 100 games. They are the second fastest to ever do it. Only the 1916 Philly A's had fewer wins at this point. They had 29. White Sox have 31 wins here. That was not a 162 season, by the way, in 1916 for the Philadelphia A's on this. The last 10 losses, Dave, have all been on the run line for the White Sox.
This is reason number, I think we're close to 10 million, just like the guarantee at the Circus Survivor. Reason number 10 million why I'm glad I'm not in a book, because there is zero chance when you go into work that there's not money against this.
Yeah.
You work in the daytime, you work in the nighttime, you go in and you just go, how bad is it? Like how much do we need the White Sox for today? How much are we going to have to overcome today? 8 dimes, 10 dimes, 20 dimes. Like you can't stop this tsunami of just bet against them. Parlay piece on the run line, blah, 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 blah. It's brutal. September can't come soon enough because maybe something will change in call-ups or something in September where this won't happen. But you think it's going to happen. They're going to body parts. It's no good.
I mean, I'm now in on it. I mean, I really don't think you can realistically bet the White Sox anymore. There's a couple different ways to bet them, I think, going forward. One, I think you can bet the opposing pitcher to get a win. That market, I think it's going to be pretty profitable the rest of the way. I think you can bet against them on the run line. I think that's possible.
Right.
And I think you can start to bet their team total unders coming up here down the stretch, in particular when they're playing teams that are battling for playoff spots.
I mean, I wouldn't make any overreaching general statements. There's only one way to bet them. I would continue to just bet them day by day, at least for the rest of August, and see what happens.
Interesting
No,
question.
the book can't take the game off. I mean, you can. That's kind of
cheating.
No, it's just kind of chicken. I mean, because the one day that they win, you got to be on it. You got to you got to make up for 5 days of losing.
And you can, because everybody just expects it, to rinse and repeat, and then it takes everybody out.
Right.
Like the Tigers today are going for their 4th consecutive win, 4-game series sweep, all 4 games on the run line. The Tigers are 8-1 straight up this year against the White Sox. And the Tigers have had just their way with them in this series. Like it's just, they're dominating. These games are not close.
No.
Tigers are killing them. I think they'll kill them again today. So it's just how we are. And the Tigers have a huge, we talked about this before, but the Tigers, this is the last time they will see they'll see the White Sox until they play 3 games at the end of the year for the record. Like the White Sox have a chance to make sure that their names are wiped clean. Like I think it's an easy sell in that clubhouse to the Tiger players. Like, hey, let's get this 2003 team off the hook. Okay.
Right.
Let's go. Like, let's make sure we stay focused, and let's make sure we take care of business here, because we got this game and then 3 others at the end of the year, and let's get our guys off the hook.
I don't know how much any 23-year-old kid wearing a White Sox uniform that's been beat up and lost 115 games is going to be like, hey, man, let's do it for the team.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what kind of sell that's going to be. It's like, hey, let's win the last 2 of 3 this series, guys, so we can leave on a positive note. I don't know what the sell is. It'll be interesting because they're at home, right? The White Sox are at home.
No. End of the year. End of the year. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the last game in Detroit today. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the last game in Oakland is sold out. We saw our friend from NBC Bay Area, Justin,
California.
Pixie, we're here, and we saw them, and
they're
going.
Wrong. Flip it around. Sorry. This is in Chicago. Last 3 games are in Detroit.
Oh.
This game's in Chicago.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter. But I was like, because I bet the run line. I was like, wait a minute, I wouldn't have bet the run line at home. So it's run line on the road.
Okay.
Well, so we'll see. In Chicago.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, Tigers are throwing a prospect today. That's true. They are throwing a rookie.
It's probably all throwing prospects as they go forward the rest of the season. Like,
just get guys some experience against the White Sox.
Yeah.
Use them as exhibition games.
Up. In September, they're probably going to see 5 of those. Right? Like September is different. In September, betting baseball, you should be betting dogs 66% of the time. So, shocking. Thank you, CBW.
Some breaking news. Cowboys and All-Pro wideout CeeDee Lamb have agreed to a record 4-year, $136 million deal that now makes him the second highest paid non-QB in the NFL history.
Oh, wow. Big surprise.
Good luck with that, Dallas.
Big surprise. Hey,
good
congratulations. I mean, I hope it was worth it, whatever you did there. I just retweeted the show. If you guys are watching the show on Twitter, welcome. If you're watching it on Twitter, you can retweet that too, so more people can join us and watch us. I called it first day of classes, listening glasses, and 2 dumbasses.
Fair.
How did we do?
Fair.
Not bad. If
Rhythm
anybody can say it, we might as well be able to say it.
True.
So
I like it.
Yeah.
Over in Ireland, I'm not sure the liver has recovered for Pat and the boys going over there, but Florida State goes down to Georgia Tech 24-21 on a last-second field goal. The first top 10 team to lose this year's in the first game of the regular season in week 0 here. The 2-minute timeout made its debut. How did you feel about having a 2-minute, they're not calling it the warning, the 2-minute timeout in college football? Because Mike Norvell of Florida State acted like he never even knew that thing was coming.
I don't know. I can't believe that they were that big of a favorite after watching the game. That was my takeaway. I was watching the game early going, they look the same.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, this is a neutral site, and it opened 13. Immediately got bet down to 10 and then worked its way back up. I don't know. I mean, it was fun to watch, and it was in Ireland and all that other stuff, but it was just another college football game to me. You have any major takeaways?
Yeah, the 2-minute thing is a huge deal.
Why?
Because if you've played Madden or watched NFL football, you know when you take your timeouts when you have a 2-minute warning coming.
Yeah.
You stop the run. You have 4 timeouts, not 3. Mike Norvell waited till 1 minute left in the game to use his timeouts. It was like the most moronic thing I'd ever seen. It was like, do you think the kid's going to miss? Like, that's what you're playing for? You're playing for a missed field goal. The only way you're going to survive this is by playing for a missed field goal. Because in the NFL, you know that a team's going to run the clock out, kick a field goal, game over. Either you tie or you win. That's it. That was Georgia Tech's entire MO on that last drive. And I kept on going, does he not know there's a 2-minute timeout coming? Because taking your timeouts north of the 2-minute warning, you can go first down, second down, third down, fourth down, 2-minute warning. They kick it, and in college football, a first down stops the clock. A minute and a half is an eternity in college football. But you have to be able to have the football with a minute 30 left to have that opportunity. It was the weirdest thing in the world going like, Mike Norvell, you're playing for a missed field goal your entire season. You lose this, you're dead. That's it. Goodbye. Florida State, cross them off. You're not going to the playoffs. ACC will
win the rest of their games.
And that ain't happening. DJU is not beating Miami, not beating Clemson. Not happening. Like, you watch that team. They're not very good. DJU is not a good quarterback. He keeps on getting chances, keeps on getting opportunities, but Mike Norvell trusted him to throw deep like 5 times. Like, they just wouldn't throw the ball. Everything was dink and dunk. Does not trust that kid at all to throw the ball down the field. And Georgia Tech figured it out. If you stop the run and make it all about DJU, go ahead, kid. Beat us. And they couldn't do it.
Who did the game? Jesse and Joe Tessitore.
Yep.
Jesse, I forget his last name. But I heard him say it. Jesse Palmer.
Yep.
I heard him say it like he was surprised, as was I, that Florida State couldn't run the ball. Like, they lost the line of scrimmage battle.
Yep.
And that was surprising. I'm not besmirching Georgia Tech at all. They were great, but they were tough.
Well, 2 years ago, Tech sucked. So last year they made some noise, and this year they might be poised to make another big step.
I was impressed.
Yeah, they were tough. They were tough. And then, I mean, Dogs went 4-0 in week 0. Does that mean anything to you?
No. I mean, the lines were high.
Mm-hmm.
The lines were high. I watched the Hawaii-Delaware State game Saturday night.
Okay.
Watched. Got home after all of our proxy business and running around and seeing guys about things and all that other stuff. And then I did Bernie Fratto's show at 11 o'clock at night on Saturday night. Bernie said to say hello.
Hi, Bernie.
Basically gave us a nice pop for BBB.
Nice.
It was very appreciated. But I was watching that game going, how in the hell is this game 40? How is Hawaii a 40-point? I mean, like, it opened 37 or whatever, and they bet it. Like, I don't know. you got to be careful laying points. I mean, early. That's what that showed me. But again, I don't know if that translates into this week. I know there's probably plays that already happened or were happening Saturday for this week coming up. They're going, oh, that's 13. I'm taking it. Oh, that's 10. I'm taking it. Trying to get the best numbers.
I did it last night.
Oh, you took a dog? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
I think that's the natural inclination. But, you know, I mean, it's like the NFL exhibition. Every first 2 weeks went under, and then all the games went over. More games, way more games went over. Cobras went 11-5.
Yeah, I mean, preseason totals. And by the way, I'm sorry for the blurriness of these graphics. I had a setting wrong when I did all the graphics this morning. It'll be fixed for tomorrow. You can still read it. It just doesn't look clean. It just looks blurry. Like I thought it was my eyes going, you know, like what's going on? But underdogs went 32-17 ATS. That's the best pre-price in preseason for dogs since 08. Unders went 31-18. The unders in the first 2 weeks went 26-7, and then overs went 11-5 in week number 3. So you had some comeback there. The numbers got sharper. People still bet the under, and the games went over for the most part when offense, when third, fourth, and fifth string guys were in there trying to make noise for themselves. But underdogs overall, 32-17. Straight up, they went 24-1. That's $1,400 worth of profit on a $100 bet if you came in and did that. Preseason football is interesting. I like betting it. Some people hate betting it. I like betting it. It causes more research to do it. But you heard Jeff Benson say it on Friday's show.
Yep.
Books hate it. The first recreational big bet they take will be a first.
Right. People just don't bet it. You know, it's just it becomes that. What's the quarterback rotation? How did this guy know this? What do we make this total? I mean, at least now it's only 3 weeks instead of 4. And the third week was way more of a crapshoot. You know, moves didn't get there. You know, those big steam moves starting with the San Francisco 49ers here in Vegas against the Raiders. Huge move didn't get there. The game fell 24-24.
Is a tie in preseason like worst case scenario for you guys in the book? Or good case scenario?
I mean, that one would have been better had the Raiders just won.
Right.
Because they got to give back the money line bets.
Right.
But the game falling and over and all that stuff. The last week of preseason was much better than the first 2 weeks. I can tell you that. Just based on the scores.
Jacoby Brissett hurt his shoulder last night.
Oh boy.
So
I saw this on the rundown and I said, here he goes. Drake May, arrow starts.
Bill Simmons is all mad. Bill Simmons, Gerard Mayo doesn't seem to understand how press conferences work. There's zero upside to actually admitting out loud that Drake May has outplayed Jacoby Brissett so far. So now what? You're going to start a rookie QB in week 1 behind the worst Pats O-line since the Jim Plunkett era. Franchise is a mess. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I think
Can we get Bill on the show? Can we get Simmons on the show? Yeah. Let's talk to Bill.
My mom knows his mom, maybe.
Ask Mom Simmons, please.
Come on
the show. Yeah, I'd like to hear this because he's actually making sense.
I owe Bill a lot. I've never actually talked to Bill Simmons. I would say thank.
Why don't you agree with this?
It's because I think I'm 47 years old. Bill is a couple of years older than me.
Yep.
I think for those of us who grew up in an era where kids needed to be coached up hard and kids through press conferences, that the kids didn't have rabbit ears and you didn't try to send messages to your players through social media and through the press conferences. I think this is Gerard Mayo trying to get the kids some confidence. I think this is, in today's sports, this is how you reach a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, is by saying something publicly and keeping him focused and locked in, saying he outplayed him, but there's still some things he needs to do to be named the starting quarterback of the Patriots. I think he's close. I mean, May gives you something that you have to acknowledge as a Patriot fan. The offensive line is going to be a mess. He's completely right. You heard Frank Schwab say it on the panel. The Patriots offensive line is the worst, one of, if not the worst offensive line in football. It's hard to argue. Okay. Mm-hmm. The talent they've got. So having a quarterback who's mobile, who can run and get away from pressure is pretty advantageous. Brissett's not a guy who's going to run around. He's 31 years of age, just hurt his shoulder. But Drake May made a throw last night that sold me. Ran to his left, threw the ball to the right, 45 yards on a line, caught for a touchdown. It was called back due to a holding penalty because the Patriots had a million of those. But the play itself by Drake May made me go, okay, if you're going to be bad, and everyone's like, oh no, it's the Mac Jones situation. You're going to start him game one and all of his confidence will get shattered. Maybe. But I'm also of the opinion that, like, if you're somebody who is going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL, we get to see you play and how you handle losing, how you handle playing behind a bad offensive line. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm okay with him, Drake May, playing now. I was like, no,
You're not worried about him getting beat up or any of that other stuff.
I mean, he's going to get beat up anyway. He's going to get beat up. He's going to play at some point during the year. He's going to get beat up regardless. Like, look, we saw Peyton Manning. We've seen plenty of guys come in and start game one and have horrific years. Troy Aikman, 2-14, 100 interceptions. Like, that's just kind of the way that things have gone. It's kind of the way that things have gone. So, like, I want to see it, because if Brady is right about the way the quarterback play is now being dumbed down, it's equally that the defenses aren't that exotic anymore. Like, the whole game of football is being rushed. You know, we're not seeing development. We're not seeing third and fourth round kids sitting for 2 years before they play linebacker or defensive end or whatnot. So the offenses are being simplified. The defenses are being simplified. The game's just becoming more of a touch football backyard type of game. So for that reason, maybe a kid can step in right away and help an offense and look okay and build a rapport. I mean, the Patriots are going to be bad. We know this. Are going to be a bad football team. Rookie quarterback, you know, it's a lot. You have a very good defense. So if you ride the defense and just be willing to play 13-10 football games, how much are you asking Drake May to do anyway?
I wouldn't start him, but if he's ready, I mean, throw him.
I mean, is he ready? When are you ever really ready to start your first NFL football game? Jaden Daniels starting game one. Bo Nix starting game one. Caleb Williams starting game one. I mean, what's the difference between Drake May and those guys starting? They're all top 15 picks.
They all have NFL ready offensive lines.
Caleb does, sort of. Bo Nix does. I don't know. Washington's offensive line. Patriots did a pretty good job with the ones yesterday. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe Washington does. But, I mean, he's more mobile. I mean, he's faster. He's fast. Look at the guys' combine times. Like, he can run.
Oh, so yeah, no, there's no doubt. I just don't. Those teams are actually trying to win. I mean, the Patriots are trying to win. Yes, no.
I don't think they're tanking. I really don't. I don't think the Patriots, I don't think they're tanking. I think they want to be competitive. I think they feel like they've got a defense that can make them competitive. You know, I think they need to address the offensive line situation. I think that they will look to do that in the draft all next year. They'll draft the next big time left tackle. You know, I think, I don't believe they're tanking. I don't think the Patriots are tanking. I really don't. I don't think you take a quarterback. If you were tanking, you would.
I've never seen C-Max in here before. C-Max, if this is your first time, welcome as a recruit to the BBB.
Would you play, if you're tanking, would you play Drake May? Wouldn't you just play Brissett?
Well, that's why they're trying to play Brissett, no?
We don't know that. I mean, this morning, we literally had, what's up, C-Mix is a newbie. All right, there we go.
Thank you, sir.
Coming in.
All right.
He said it on WEEI, and he said it in the press conference today, that Drake May has outperformed Jacoby Brissett. There are just some things that he needs to do before he names him the starting quarterback for Sunday.
Right.
I mean, starting your first NFL game on the road at Cincinnati against Joe Burrow. Whew. Okay.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. It's not ideal by any means, but if you were tanking, you'd play Zappy. Fair. Bailey Zappy, the third string quarterback, would get a nod.
Well, I mean, I think you have to play a veteran at that point. That's why you brought Brissett in to play. But
yeah, see, I don't think in the first month, I don't believe teams are. I think you're right, Joel. I think that you're trying to see what you have, because every year in the NFL, there's always a shocking story. Now, everyone's predicting that to be the Panthers. Everyone thinks that Carolina is going to be that shocking story. That
is going to be better than
way better playoff. Like they're going to win the division type. Like Panthers are going to win the division. That year 2, quick turnaround. That they've got the offensive line fixed now, and Bryce Young now has receivers to work with, and he feels more confident and comfortable. But we saw last year a rookie quarterback take a team to the playoffs. Going into the year, everyone thought the Texans were going to suck. Okay. Texans defense was good. Defensive-minded head coach, former player. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Nico Collins and Tank Dell. No one knew anything about those guys before the year. Now they're pretty much household names.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying the Patriots with Polk and whatnot, the kids
that
they've
sounded
drafted.
like you were saying that.
I'm just saying there are comparisons. Different division, okay? The AFC South versus the AFC East, totally different division. So I'm not saying the Patriots are doing what the Texans have done. I'm just saying that there are situations where you can see the Patriots, if they have a quarterback who plays. CJ Stroud stepped up and was tremendous. If Drake May wows some people and plays really well, new offensive coordinator, defense plays really strong, Patriots will be in football games. All right? The Patriots will be in football games. Just saying. I don't see them getting annihilated all year. See, people think the Panthers are going to stink too. I don't know, Chef Benny. We'll see.
I don't know. Can't be that far off with the projections, and the season wins is 4.5 or 5. And I mean, I guess, they could be off 7, might be a good year, but in that division, they are the clear last place team.
Fair. Yep. But that's only because the teams are so good. The 3 teams are all playoff teams ahead of them.
Allegedly.
Look, if the Jets gets productivity out of the quarterback spot, the Jets can win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, Jets defense is going to be nasty. Okay. It all comes down to Aaron Rodgers and the offensive line. If that offensive line doesn't keep Aaron Rodgers upright and he gets hurt, goodbye, season over. Like, it's one player for the Jets. But if he plays well, Garrett Wilson could be an absolute dynamic weapon, and the Jets can 100% win the division.
Yeah, they could. We'll see. I don't know. I just think that we'll see.
I think it's Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots. That's my list.
Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots. Yeah,
but he goes. Yeah, Saleh is still a dummy. Still have Robert Saleh as the head coach. That's true.
That's a good thing right there that Clown did. Clown MB3 just did. Put your order of finish for the AFC East in the chat. That's pretty good. He put Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, just like that.
And for the fun of it, by the way, in case you're curious, the odds of that for the divisions,
Bills, Dolphins, Jets,
so
Patriots.
Jets are plus 160. Bills plus 195. Dolphins plus 210.
The Jets are now the favorite to win a division. How about that?
Jets are the favorite to win at FanDuel. The Jets are the favorite to win the division.
Holy crap. Nicky Caramello, good to see you in the chat, sir. I just looked down and saw him. I'm thinking about you, sir, make sure everything's all right. Good to see you back in the chat. Hope everything's well with you. Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
There's Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Pats. Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Pats. Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Pats.
And then the Pats. The Pats are last in every single one.
Yes, there's no debating that. I mean, right. The Patriots are the worst team in the division. That's a given. Dolphins, though, a lot of Patriot fans like the Dolphins. I like the Dolphins. Addison likes the Dolphins. I like the Dolphins.
Ooh. I'm surprised.
Dolphins, more Dolphins.
Like Dallas got the Dolphins. Yeah.
Boost Bader like the Jets.
Did the Jets have the best defense in the division?
No. Well, second, it's either the Patriots or the Jets, one of the two.
I think the Patriots have a better defense than the Jets.
Potentially. Yeah.
Oh.
Potentially. Just saying, look at the numbers. Like, just look, we'll see the numbers and we'll see what happens. But the Patriots defense is going to be really, really good. Offensively, it's not even a question. Jets are way better.
Pedro just came in from Brazil. Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Pats.
Yeah, the question, it's an interesting argument as to like the numbers now at FanDuel will tell you it's Jets, Miami, Buffalo, or Jets, Buffalo, Miami. But I think there's a lot of value on the Dolphins to win the division. A lot of people think the Dolphins, though, have the biggest implosion potential.
Things could go bad in Miami.
Or not. like I don't know. I like Mike McDaniel a lot. I think he's a really interesting head coach. I think we don't know exactly what he is yet as a game manager, but I think if Tua stays healthy and you have Tyreek Hill stay away from any hamstring injuries, like they're going to score.
Ask the chat that question that you have right there on the graphic. Should the Patriots start QB Drake May game 1, or just who starts for the Pats QB game 1? Drake May, Jacoby Brissett. I'm going to see what people vote right now, because I think you get a clear line and division of what people think the Patriots are trying to do or going to do, which is always fun as, just regular people looking at a professional football team and franchise trying to tell them who to start. I love this time of year when the speculation becomes even bigger and better. But should the Pats start Drake May game 1? The poll is up. Vote if you're here live on the show in the chat.
I mean, I understand the theory about starting Brissett. I do. But I just think if you're going to run, and maybe it's game 1, game 2, game 3, if Brissett's shoulder is really, real, if it's an injury, get Drake May ready. Let's go. I mean, that's, let's see what happens. If
shoulder's hurt, he is playing. I mean, it's simple. If Brissett's shoulder is hurt, he is playing.
May's playing.
Yeah, Drake May's playing. Yes.
Yeah. Drake May will play.
So I don't know. Due to injury, that's one thing.
Right.
But if he says, you know what, kid, good luck. Let's start in Cincinnati on the road. We're 9.5-point dogs.
Oh, Raftery. Wow. How big of an implosion are we talking about here for the Jets? The Jets come in last in the division?
Wow. Attaboy, Matty Rafferty.
I mean, I'm in love with it. Sign me up. I'll be insufferable if that happens. I'll be dancing on the Jets' grave every damn day if that happens.
I'm kind of rooting for them because they really never win.
Ross, I hope the Patriots have some type of package built in for Joe Milton. I really do.
Oh, here we go.
I hope we have a Joe Milton package built in.
Package.
Some type of play, trick play, something, a home run hitter. The guy could throw the ball 70 yards. 70 yards. That's insane. That's what?
Because you do that a lot in an NFL game.
Well, you can. I mean, if you have Tyreek Hill, you just throw the ball up and let him go get it. Yes, right. This is the refrain every day. Ross Randall. Jets sucks. Yes. Look at Ian, UNC fan here. Start Drake. Look, no one was more heavy on the Drake May Heisman Trophy, Drake May to the Patriots bandwagon than me. I just got nervous when Belichick was like, I don't like the kid. I was like, now I'm conflicted. Like Bill's like, he needs a lot of time. He shouldn't play for a year. He needs to rest. And I'm like, okay, is Bill just totally off his rocker and not tapped in anymore? Or does Bill know something about the way this kid could be?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see. Patriots are supposed to name a starting quarterback in the next day or two based on Jacoby Brissett's shoulder.
Who names a starting quarterback first, them or the Steelers?
Well, who's later in the week, Dave? Mike Tomlin. How much later in the week do we got to get? You're playing in 6 days.
Well, no, the good thing is they're not. They've got 2 weeks.
Oh, I forgot. Right. Yeah, that's right. Not this week.
We have a whole bye week to discuss what the future of the NFL is and how it's really strange because it used to be this would be the last preseason game, and then you had a game for real.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Right.
And now we have to wait until a week from Thursday for the first game, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we said it on Friday at the show. That's a fair statement, Clown MB3. The Steelers don't have a starting QB on their roster. I heard the Tomlin press conference after the game, and we're going to do Steelers on Steelers practice, and we'll know, by Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. But we're gonna have a good week of practice and figure it all out. I don't know. A lot of the talking heads think that they let Russ play the first series or whatever, and because he's the starter. Okay. I don't know. I really don't know. I watched some of the game without sound. Felt like whether Fields can read a defense or not, or this or that. I would rather see him start and then bring Russ in if needed, but they're going to start a veteran. That's what it sounds like. Russ has earned. This is why they brought him in, right? You let Russ cook, Vitalis. Is that it?
I don't think you have a choice.
I don't know.
I don't think you have a choice because you brought in Russell Wilson.
So what?
You went and got him. You brought him in first. You picked him over Justin Fields. Justin Fields was available. You could have gotten Fields first. You didn't. You got Russ first. You made the decision to go get Russell Wilson. He starts game one. You made that choice. He was going to be the starter. And, well, Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. No kidding. But you're going to create all types of drama for yourself that you don't need if you play Justin Fields in game one.
I don't know. What drama? I mean, there's already drama.
You self-imposed. I told you when they got Fields. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing
Milton
this?
Package. You want a Joe Milton package? I want a Justin Fields package. There
Well,
has to be.
Yeah, but that's not a starting quarterback though. Fields wants to play. Milton.
I know, but like he has to
round pick. He was like a throw-in. This is a guy who started all last year for the Bears. He was top pick. He was tabbed to be the next thing, the guy. By the way, Russell Wilson, I still can't get over that comment that was said during the chat at Circa that someone said Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer. I still can't get over this. Russell Wilson's not a Hall of Famer.
Oh, boy.
He's never received a single Hall of Fame vote in his career. Sorry, MVP vote. He's never received a single MVP vote in his entire career.
I was going to say, when did they start voting for Hall of Fame during your
MVP?
What are you talking about?
How do you play like he's played and never receive a single MVP vote ever? Geno Smith in Seattle got an MVP vote. Not Russell Wilson.
Geno wrote checks and they didn't write back. Russ cooked.
Russ is not a Hall of Famer. Yes, AOWN. I'm in that. I don't forget most. No, but he's overrated in my mind.
Whoa.
He's one of. I mean, he can throw a great deep ball. Okay. What else? I mean, he will go down. I will always remember
one Super Bowl is one
throwing a pick in the end zone against the Patriots where he could have won his second championship. And he got picked off.
That was a terrible play call.
Everything was terrible. The play call was terrible. The throw was terrible. Everything was terrible. Malcolm Butler made one day that will be on my, I will have a gigantic blow up picture somewhere of that play.
I can't wait for them to be on the field at the same time.
Field and Russ?
Yeah.
Where as Justin Fields is a running back?
Yeah. Or something like a slash, like Cordell. He'll be on the field at the same time. Yeah. They'll run some sort of something. I don't know. Or, Russ will line up behind center, take the snap, and then he'll go in motion and they'll snap at the Fields or something. They're cooking up something. They have to be. They better be. Because the rest of it.
Do you put, by the way, is Dan Marino a Hall of Famer to you?
Who?
Is Dan Marino a Hall of Famer to you?
Dan Marino?
Yeah.
Dan Marino is one of the best 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Agreed. He never won a ring.
No.
I don't care that Russell Wilson has a ring. Just because he has a ring doesn't mean he's a Hall of Famer. Rings don't matter. I mean, on this, just because you have a ring doesn't mean I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame. People are like, well, he won a championship, but then he went to Denver, so he may have blew it. At least he got a Super Bowl. I don't think a Super Bowl means anything in this conversation. At least not to me. It helps your resume, but it doesn't get you in.
Trent
Yeah, Nick
Dilfer-
Foles has a ring.
hold on. Nick Foles does have a ring. Trent Dilfer has a ring.
Right. So it helps your resume a little bit, but I'm not putting Russ in just because he has a Hall of Fame. I mean, because into the Hall of Fame because he has a championship ring. That doesn't mean anything to me. It helps, but it doesn't like if he had two, it might help me a little bit. Joe Flacco has a ring. Yeah.
Yeah, there's guys that won rings that aren't going to be Hall of Famers.
Right.
Just
Triple option. You guys running a triple option with Justin Fields?
Maybe.
That'd be fun.
I don't know. Anything to keep the clock moving and hold possession of the ball, the Steelers need to figure out to do.
Do you know what's crazy? I would put Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame over Russell Wilson.
Doesn't Eli have two?
He does over the Patriots. Yeah. He has two.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I would put him in before I would put Russell Wilson in. A lot of strong feelings about Eli Manning. Strong feelings about Eli Manning.
I mean, at some point to be a Hall of Famer, don't you have to be one of the one or two best in your position during at least a season or two?
I say top five. I said to you on Saturday, I said, was Russell Wilson ever a top five quarterback in a single season? Yeah. I don't think he was. I mean, he put up yards and threw deep balls, but like Russell Wilson was never a guy was like, if I'm building a franchise, I'm like,
I don't think so.
Russell Wilson, like, I'm never doing that. So that's just not my, that's not my thing with him. I don't mean to be disrespectful to him, but it's just, I'm not jumping up and down going like, yes, Russell Wilson, Hall of Famer. On end of this week, say Friday, who is the starting quarterback for the Steelers, in your opinion?
Ask the chat. Put it, you guys in the chat, put it in who you think. I hope it's Justin Fields. I don't think it will be. Listening to the topics, listening to the people talk, seeing the clips.
Is Ben a Hall of Famer? I think yes.
Come on, WV Punch.
I think yes.
Yes.
I think he is. Yes.
Did it for long enough time.
Yeah.
And there were a couple years in there where he couldn't beat Brady,
but he was elite
times. But he did win a couple Super Bowls. And
yeah, Ben, I would say yes. I think with Ben's run, I would put Ben in the Hall of Fame. Yes. I don't think Russell's in the same hemisphere. It's even close. Ben's in. For me, Ben's a Hall of Famer. All right, Circa Sports Pro Football Team of the Day. It is the Detroit Lions today, as Dave is wearing it. Guys, you have until the 7th of September to get here to sign up. It is a 2:00 Pacific time sign-up deadline. You must be signed up, not in line. We clarified that over the weekend. If you're in line at 2:01, you're out. So if you're coming Saturday, you better be here signed up and done and dusted by 2 p.m. Pacific on the 7th. 4
I can
p.m.
tell you this. If you're coming and you're signing up Saturday, unless you are signing up at like 6 a.m. Saturday with us, you're probably going to have to use another proxy. I'm just telling you now, because we have stuff to do, and I don't want to be signing one more person up at 1:00 to make sure. Our first order of business will be to make sure the process is done with the picks that Saturday. So
yeah, if we get you in, if we happen to get you in, we happen to get you in. But given the way things are going right now, I mean, the service, we're pretty much doubling the entries we had from year to year.
We're going to be.
So like we have a priority. If you're coming in to use us, you need to get here. And look, Friday night, I got you until 3 a.m., whatever you need.
No problem.
I'll be at Circa signing people up until the sun comes up. I don't care.
Right.
But Saturday morning, we got stuff to do.
Right.
We got stuff to do. So just FYI on this, it is a countdown here. You got basically less than 2 weeks to get to Vegas, to get signed up.
Correct.
I know next weekend's going to be absolute Looney Tunes. Okay. And I'm serious, we'll talk about it in the next segment, a little bit about how to book us and whatnot, but it's going to be Looney Tunes next weekend. I mean, last weekend was crazy. So this weekend's going to be even more nuts when it comes to Labor Day weekend and people coming in. The Lions are the team of the day. Win total is set at 10.5. Over is juiced at Circa -125.
Look at this hat, by the way. This is an original OG hat. I think Derek had them put in the Lions blue, Honolulu blue, in the Circa.
Oh,
see that.
Smart.
Yeah, that was you can't get that hat no more. That's an old school original one, but I think that had something to do with the Lions with that Honolulu Blue hat.
Daniel G is representing.
Oh boy. Here we go. Who's going to say under? Who's going to say under? I mean, you find anybody to say under?
Okay, if that's the case, is it Super Bowl or bust?
Why does it get to this point? But I think it is.
Because you wait and you wait and you wait. And 2 years ago, it was here they come. Last year, it was like, uh-oh, the Lions are for real. And now is Jared Goff good enough?
Man, it just there's like it's supposed to be steps, right? Like you just climb up one step at a time. Oh, look at this. Daniel G's getting fired up. He's getting me fired up. Woo, baby.
And it had fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Oh, baby.
That's great. Lions should have made the Super Bowl last year. Well, they sure as hell fucked it up in the playoffs, didn't they? They had a shot at it.
1 hour in, Will. We tried our best. That's it.
You guys had a shot.
Oh, boy.
You put both hands around your neck and you squeezed.
Oh,
hard.
don't say it. They choked it.
Big time choke. You had a shot.
God.
You guys could have been there. You guys had a shot to do it.
Oh, boy.
By the way, I love when Will sends me text messages and he's like, is there any swears I should be looking out for? Yes. Who said them? Me. When? Around this time.
Yeah, right around here, 1 hour in 101. Just so in case you missed it, Will. It's around the
Cloud
101
MB3.
mark.
Lions season ticket holder.
Oh.
14 games indoors. Golf can do it. Secondary revamped. And that's the only reason why they blew the lead last year. Fair.
Damn. Look,
Play calling didn't help either. A little conservative.
I so wanted the Lions to be here in Vegas last year.
Would have been nuts.
Would have
been nuts.
been just absolutely
Pandemonium.
Would have been. Whole state would have come.
This is like
here.
This is so blurry. I feel like I'm looking at like a test, like a eyeball test.
Is it that bad?
Oh, I mean, on my end, it's so blurry. I don't know if you guys see how blurry it is, but it's so blurry.
Might be time for you to get an eye check. It ain't that blurry.
It's not okay. It's super blurry on my end, and I have pretty good eyes. So, they start off the first 2 games at home. The Lions do at home against the Rams, at home against Tampa. Sunday night football, and Sunday 1 o'clock on Fox.
Yeah,
win both those games, right?
Do they have to beat the Rams?
I think they do. Don't have to, but they do.
All right, let's see. 3.5 at home against the Rams, and then let's see. Tampa's what? 7?
Yeah, it's blurry. Okay, it's blurry. Yes, it's blurry. Okay, it's not me. It's not me. It's blurry. It'll be fixed for tomorrow. Sorry.
6.5. Okay, so 3.5, 6.5. Yeah, they should win both. All
Arizona right. On the road, win.
Geez, that's the game that like Dallas was at Arizona last year in week 3. And that was the game they lost as 14-point favorites in Survivor.
What happens first? The Brigade Proctors member a win in Circa Survivor, or the Lions win the Super Bowl?
Why not both? Why not both? Flip.
Could be this year. Could be both. I have them 3-0 Monday night against Seattle at home.
Oh, they're winning that game.
4-0 to the bye, Lions. And then buckle up for this schedule. At Dallas and at Minnesota. Back-to-back roadies out of the bye.
Split.
Agreed. Tennessee at home.
They're winning that game.
At Green Bay, at Houston, and at Indianapolis. 3 of the 4 games on the road with Jacksonville at home mixed in. Getting Green Bay in November is decent, though. That's big. Not December.
They're losing that game, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wow. I have 8 going to the Green Bay game at home.
8 wins. They beat Chicago. They lose to Indy.
They split the Jacksonville and Indy games.
Okay. So I have them with 2 losses here going into week 12 against Indy. I think that they win that game. Chicago at home should be a win, right?
Yeah.
That's Thanksgiving. Thursday against Green Bay. I mean, this is an 11-2, 10-3 start.
So they play back-to-back Thursdays, huh? Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Win-win.
Buffalo Bills at home.
Oh, they're supposed to win that game and they'll lose it.
I think they'll lose that game too. At Chicago.
They'll win that game.
I said it's a loss too. At San Francisco.
Lose.
Lost there too. So I have them. I think that they go, 12-5.
11-6 or 12-5.
I mean, 11-6. I think it's an over bet. It's an overplay for me with them.
Yep.
With them to go over.
Yep.
On that. Lions fans, you guys are going to be for a fun run. Fun season.
Give the boys and girls something to vote for here while we're talking about it. You know, JPC and Daniel G, everybody's the Detroit guys in the 313 are all taking over to chat. Over under 10.5. I mean, the bottom is what? 10?
Yep. 10-7. Yeah.
Who's the backup quarterback in Detroit? I don't even know. If you guys know, type it in the chat. I don't know.
I'll tell you right now. Backup quarterback is Nate Sudfeld and Hendon Hooker.
There's not really too many teams where you go, boy, if that guy sees the field, they're in big trouble. But yikes. Like, I don't know. A lot is on Goff. And
but every team's like that, though. I mean, every team needs their starting quarterback to play. They get hurt, the whole year is up in smoke. You know?
Hendon Hooker. Yeah. Wow. 13-4 for the Detroit boys, they said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before we get to Kevin
number
Stevenson.
One seed? Can they get the number 1 seed? The road to the Super Bowl goes through Detroit?
It's them. It's the Packers.
Damn, bro. If they get the 1 seed, I think they're going.
To New Orleans. It's a dome this year. On top of that, it's a dome.
God.
And it's in the Central Time Zone. Same time zone. Straight shot. Detroit down to New Orleans.
Oh, man. Since the days of Billy Sims, I love the Honolulu blue and silver. I would be so excited for the Detroit fans. That would be great.
It would be great.
I think, honestly, the bottom is 10. One number beats you in this. One.
I agree. Before we get to Kevin.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Time for the sting. Brigade Proxy Pro football story of the day. You guys, 702-570-8255. Send us a text message. We were there all weekend signing people up. We'll be there this coming weekend signing people up. 702-570-8255. That's the best number to text to get in touch. If you want to email, it's thebbbshow.com. Fill out the form, send an email, tell us you're coming to town, and take care of business here with us. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys. Again, 2:00 deadline next Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. So if you're coming this weekend, you're fine. The weekend prior or weekend after, you must be signed up by 2:00.
Saturday, September 7th.
Doesn't matter if you're in line or not. 2 p.m., hard deadline, over. It's done if you do not get in line to get taken care of. So have that. 702-570-8255. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Rush on Millions contest, Dave.
Yeah?
Yeah. Last 3 days, we've seen a lot of Millions signups.
Oh, no question. And again, we'll have Kevin on here in a second, but don't make the books a nightmare on that Saturday. There's a busy slate of college football on that Saturday. They're going to be trying to take bets and stuff. Sign up before Friday night. We'll meet you down there late. You know, Kevin's been there late with us, signing people up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. It's fine. We can do the signups then. It's a lot quieter. And it's a little bit more time to BS a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Talk about futures and season wins and Baltimore and all these other ridiculous things. Tomorrow's the Ravens, isn't it? Tomorrow's the Ravens day.
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah. So this will be kind of like a preview of the Ravens talk when we get Kevin on, because I tried to time it so we would talk to Kevin the day we broke down the Ravens, and somehow he landed on the Lions day.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
our Brigade Proxy Pro Football Story of the day: Nick Chubb, running back for the Browns, will start the year on the PUP list. The Browns play, if he's on the PUP list, he can't play for 4 weeks. Dallas at Jacksonville, Giants at Vegas. What's the Browns' record without Nick Chubb?
is this like surprising? Did they not know that he was really hurt, or
No, they knew, but they hoped he'd be back for the start of the year.
that's not good? 2-2. I mean, I think they're 2-2, period.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Win
But it's a big
home game,
blow to
win
their
a road
offense.
game.
I mean, Deshaun Watson has not looked good. There's a lot of questions.
3-1? I think they can go 3-1.
They might go 0-4.
Oh.
The Browns might be bad this year.
Oh.
If Watson doesn't want to play, if Watson stinks, he tanks the whole year. I mean, you have paid Deshaun Watson to be a top 5 quarterback in the game. And if he's not capable of playing at that level ever again, Nick Chubb's your star. Now there's no Nick Chubb. So now what are you doing? Now you have Watson, who doesn't want to play, Chubb, who can't play. Like, it's a run-happy offense. Whew. Not great.
I don't know.
Not great. Not great.
2-2.
2-2 out through them. All right, let's get to our guy. Let's talk.
He's
the one and only Kevin Stevenson joining us. I believe he's in the risk room at Circus Sports.
Oh, he looks good too.
Coming in on
Had
this.
to wear the brand, do you know?
Yeah.
Hold
Hold on.
for the people.
We got to make sure
How
we put
are
him
we,
in the
gentlemen?
big box.
There we go.
There he is, Kevin Stevenson. What's your Twitter handle, sir?
At K Stevenson 77. Very
77 is what? Why'd you use 77? Phil Esposito?
I think it just linked from my email when I first started. I never thought I'd even use Twitter when I first set it up. So it's my birth year.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I don't look like I was born in 77, but
yes, you do.
I was.
Yeah, I thought
what
you were
month?
born in 87. You look
What month?
You definitely weren't in 87. June. I'm a
All right.
Cancer. 23rd.
Got you by a couple of months. I'm
Yeah,
April 77. So on this.
Good year.
What was this weekend like? I mean, from a Sonic perspective, it felt really, really big.
It was really, really busy. I sat here. I pulled up some numbers before I got on here with you. Friday to Sunday, 532 in the millions and 1,450 in the Survivor. And that's in 3 days. So I remember standing up in Radio Row with you guys. Let's see, Friday, I guess that was, and the board said like 5,700. And now here we are. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's a lot of work, and that's a shout out to you, the team. The whole weekend has grown into just something that's just more than signups, like that whole Radio Row thing, and then the panel on Saturday. There is just a lot of stuff going on, and I mean, there's also something else going on, Kevin. There's just the show that, like, big appearances by you in this show. Did you do any more like camera work and stuff this weekend?
I did a little bit more camera work this weekend. You know, I did see you on Twitter yesterday. You know, previewing episode 2. You know what I mean? So should be as I told James and Steven, who, by the way, I have to give all just the kudos to them. I mean, the job they did, the way they hit it from every angle. If I'm in it for another second or never again, I mean, I'm still going to watch every episode. They really just captured the essence of the contest from every angle. We get so consumed behind the counter that, sometimes we just don't see it.
Right.
But they really got it from every angle. It's very exciting to see. Definitely the talk of the weekend. You know, I was fortunate enough to go to the winners' dinner on Thursday night and just, see a lot of those guys. Chat with them and, talk about life BC, before contest kind of thing. And, so That's another catchphrase I just coined. So I don't know if it's going to take, but here we are. So it's just great. Just, I mean, like I said, the excitement, the new with the old, the winners talking about how they did it, how they stressed, how they sweated. I mean, this does not come easy. I'm sure you guys know that, but it's a wild ride for these guys, and it's cool to just hear all their stories and where they're from, and incorporate the new with the old. And yeah, I mean, that Radio Row, I mean, it was reminiscent of Super Bowl just a few months back. I mean, just to chat with these guys. I mean, I know a couple guys, I don't say no, but I've seen a couple guys go on to handicapping careers and their own websites now because they're winners of the Circa Millions. And so everybody's kind of platforming this into their 15 minutes of fame. And it's well deserved because it's not something easy to do.
The Quest for 9.2 Million, episode 2 is set to air tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. This is just a little 1-minute taste of what you guys are going to see tonight.
Week 3 takes everybody out. The 3-game parlay that nobody saw coming. Jacksonville loses. The Ravens lose. The Cowboys lose. They're out. All right? Been in Vegas a long time. 21 years living here, working in the books. You see these things sometimes from the other side of the counter. Even the sharp guys, they didn't see it coming either. Everyone in the Survivor contest, we lose 60% of the people in 1 week. That's after week 3. A lot of football left, not a lot of Survivor contestants left. So, will there be quiet weeks? Of course. There's going to be weeks where probably a handful, this number of people will get eliminated. 60% of the people after week 3 would have never bet on that before the season. The crazy thing about this contest is you can't have a bad week. You can have a bad week in picking games against the spread. You can have a bad week betting and recover. When you have a bad week in this contest, one loss, one bad beat, one missed kick, one bad fumble, turnover, and you're done.
There will be episode 2.
Oh, baby.
Tonight on
Who's that guy?
Visa and socials, everything else. Episode 2, you guys will see that. Kevin, I mean, it is a good point that Dave's making, though, about what this contest is like for a Survivor. You can't have a bad week. There's a lot of pressure on going 20-0.
It really is, and I know this isn't maybe the tagline for the series, but I mean, I tell people all the time the better chance of winning is with the millions. There's more payouts. I think there's 26 total ways to win, but the ride with the Survivor, I mean, we're all in it too. I mean, we're looking at the Twitter totals every week when they come out. The book is along for the ride. You know, the writers come in, they're like, hey, what are the numbers this week? You know, it's we have to sometimes have those unfortunate conversations over the counter with the people that missed the deadline. There's no going back from that. I think it was up until week 6 last year where we finally got a week where everybody got their picks in, which will always just be amazing to me. You come and you do all this struggle and you pay this $1,000 and it's already hard enough to win, but to beat yourself is I don't know. That's a different strategy. So
did you look at week 1 yet, Kevin? Because it's really hard. But I was sitting there yesterday and Matt and I were signing someone up, and then we hung out and signed a couple more people up, whatever. And we stared at that board and went, all right, Cincinnati's a 9-point favorite over New England, or 9.5. Buffalo's a 6-point favorite over Seattle. Other than that, it's all 4.5s, 4s, 3.5s, 3s, and a couple pick'ems and 1s. Like, if you don't pick Cincy in week 1, who you picking?
No, it's right. I mean, I wish I could sit here. I had to sit here and try to glance at the schedule. I saw Derek on the show the other day. I mean, this guy's got all 17, 18 weeks memorized already.
Incredible.
He's carrying around the huge calendar. I mean, this is also why the contest is what it is. Because from the book all the way to the top, everybody's involved. Everybody's excited. I mean, this guy's literally carrying around the calendar like it's his homework. And he's engaged in every conversation, every player he meets. And so that goes a long way. But, yeah, since it's tough because you don't know a lot of these teams and how they're going to meld and gel and all that in week 1 and on the road, some of them. And Obviously Cincy's the safe pick, but then you've used Cincy already week 1. But
would you use the Ravens, Kevin? You're playing the Chiefs. I don't know if you heard.
Week 1. What are you doing?
I feel like the Ravens show out well week 1, but against the Chiefs, I mean, the good caveat, obviously, and for anybody out there that doesn't know this, feel free. You can put all 10 or 5 or whatever entries you have on the Ravens or Chiefs Thursday night. And, unfortunate things happen. You do wind up losing. You still have a few more days to buy back in, re-up all those entries. So that is the one time in the contest that you can
Friday too.
Buyback.
Derek said Friday too. You can do both, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, up until Saturday at the deadline. Yeah.
So like if you get 2 free rolls essentially if you want to roll with either one of those 4 teams that are being played. If you lose Thursday, re-up, bet Friday. You lose Friday, re-up. I mean, you can essentially get 30 entries into the contest if you really want to throw 30 dimes on that. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for you, but I, over the weekend, bet the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
Well, we can only see what happens. Maybe some of the Boston luck will rub off on us. I don't know.
How about that?
I feel like have been doing okay. So
I think having Harbaugh's brother in the league is a big thing. I think the competitive juices are flowing. I think this is Lamar's chance. And I think we talked about it on the panel, and I'll give Jamie some credit for bringing this up because I agree with it entirely, that the red zone offense for the Ravens was already nasty with Lamar, and now you have Derrick Henry as well. I mean, you're not going to be able to stop them inside the 10-yard line. I mean, they're not going to be settling for field goals, even though they got an amazing field goal kicker. They're going to be scoring touchdowns this year, a ton.
I agree. The fact that Derrick Henry's touchdown total is 10.5, I think it opened at 9.5, is kind of crazy to me. I think he had 17 last year. And so for him to not be able to get that again this year, I mean, I feel like we saw Lamar beef up last year, bulk up. I don't think it really worked out the way he wanted. Now he's slimmed down. I think that's the sign that, we're not goal line rushing with Lamar anymore. We got the big body in there. Let's let Lamar try to do what he does, and we'll see what happens. Also, to that point, I think, Jamie was just trying to talk nice about the Ravens for McGahee being there. We had a conversation afterwards. I didn't realize Jamie was a Steelers fan.
Yes.
Normally that radar goes off pretty quickly in me. We actually just hired a gentleman who is from Pittsburgh. He's a Steelers fan. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he thinks that they're going to win the division, but then he doubled down, Dave, and you can tell whether you agree or disagree, but Russ is going to outplay Lamar this year. Fanhood is one thing. I think delusion is another. I mean,
you better listen. If you hired him, that means he passed the drug test, but you better run it again.
Well,
because
I agree.
That's completely absurd. Okay.
Dave, as soon as he said it, I said, you are aware that you're not supposed to be drinking on the job.
Correct.
I said, I don't know if I can trust you with these company funds once you make statements like this.
Absolutely. So, you got to keep an eye on that guy. Absolutely, Kevin.
Speaking of keeping an eye on, not to switch topics, but this Orioles win total is becoming a little bit more of a sweat than I thought it was gonna be.
I was gonna say I was gonna swing it to the baseball.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening to your team?
You probably
on the
Twitter
at KStevenson77. You have the Oriole logo. You're a Baltimore guy through and through. Oh, the division odds have swung in the Yankees' favor, like significantly. The bullpen's been leaking. The starting pitching is leaking more now. And Kevin,
leaking is politically.
Are you worried? Are you worried now?
Yes. I don't want to say worried. This bullpen, I don't know. I mean, I was bullpen worried last year when we lost our closer. I feel like we tried to fill in the wrong gaps. Kimbrel, I don't know. Nope. And it's just very unfortunate to keep having the lead and it's like Groundhog's Day. We just keep watching the same thing. Last year, we were the comeback kids. We kept winning it in the 8th and 9th. This year, we're losing it in the 8th and 9th. And, unfortunately, New York is doing what New York does, so there's not much room for error. So it's tough. It's because Baltimore, I mean, we love our sports teams. We're Orioles through and through, and obviously not only do we want to win, but the last team we want to lose to is the Yankees. Last thing we want to do is have that division. Just like the Ravens, we'd rather lose it to the Bengals or Browns than see Pittsburgh win that division for sure. So, these are young kids. They're still trying to gel and meld, and I feel like it's also, they're not, a lot of them aren't used to playing this many games. So I think that's kind of coming into the factor of it all. And so what I keep trying to tell myself and reassure my brother, who's probably even more passionate of a fan than I am, is that this is the beginning of it. This isn't the end of it. This isn't our shot in the dark. We pushed all our chips in. Let's hope we do it. I feel like even if we don't do it, we still got a few more years to kind of keep trying with the foundation that we've kind of built.
So, I think if you look at the schedule, your whole year will hinge from the 30th of August all the way to the middle of September. Because after this 3-game stretch against the Dodgers, you guys play the Rockies on the road, the White Sox at home, the Rays at home, the Red Sox on the road, and the Tigers on the road, and then the Giants, and then the Tigers. You don't play a team that you're really chasing or competing against until the Yankees on the 24th of September.
Wow.
Right.
Like you got a shot here. The Orioles have to get through this game. You get this through these 3 games against the Dodgers. And then you got about a 21-game stretch here where you guys have got to go somewhere in the range of 15-5, 15-7 type situation.
Right. We need to go at least 500 to hit my win total, first and foremost. But we have to we have to, I don't want to say it like that. We just have to play the best baseball, but we also just got to help that a little regression hits New York. You know what I mean? It's, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, Orioles fans or not, they can agree just to root against the Yankees just because, you know what I mean? So I just feel like we just got to do what we got to do. But this bullpen, something's got to happen. I mean, they moved Kimbrel back to the 7th. Make a middle reliever, less stressful situations. He's still giving up homers.
There's only one more place to go for him, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's
gone.
the triple A.
Yeah, gone.
Oh, I thought you were saying
you moved him out of the 9th, the 8th, there to the 7th. There's we can't even push him back further.
He can go be a reliever for the NC Dinos. You're right. I mean, my brother said it last week. We talk about it all the time. You got to send the guy down just because he was who he was and his name is what it is. He's not doing the job that you need. And I don't know. It's
just not fair to the team to keep putting him out there in those high leverage pressure situations when you're just waiting for whatever to happen, and it keeps happening. So
right.
I don't know.
I hope not this time. I hope not this time. And then a lot of times it's this time. And
last year, they were the 1 seed and they lost. It's okay as an Orioles fan, as somebody in the business. We saw teams go depending on the path. Both teams last year went the wild card route. All is not lost if the Orioles don't win the division, right? I feel like depending on the matchup, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them to get a 3-game series with, I guess, Burns and Eflin would be 1-2. I think, right? Wouldn't be it would be okay.
I think that maybe last year the number 1 seed was maybe a little bit too much pressure for such a young squad. They were excited. Maybe it was too much, too quick. A wild card series, like you said, without as much pressure, maybe not as much limelight. Also, I mean, we just ran into a buzzsaw at Texas last year. I mean, they didn't lose a game. So it's not about necessarily what we didn't do, but more about what they were doing. So, but no, I hear what you're saying. I think sometimes the limelight, Ravens last year too were very fortunate in Baltimore that didn't know. I mean, Ravens were number 1 seed as well. I mean, so it's the gift and the curse though. It's great to be the number 1 seed, but then when you say, "Hey, how did you finish?" and you don't say with the championship, it's kind of like, well, then who kind of cares? So, we got to finish. We got to finish strong in both sports.
Last question from me, sir. Where are you watching the show tonight? 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Are you going to be at work on the big screen watching yourself? Is that the plan?
I think that if we do it like we did last week, we'll play the reruns after after the games are over tonight. So I'll probably go back to the content room tonight and watch it back there. But yeah, I'm here all night, so my day's just getting started.
We have a couple signups tonight, so I'll be down there for sure by 8 o'clock, 7:30.
It's that time of year. It's contest. We're a 24-hour sports book, and I think we did sign up somebody last night at 3 a.m. I mean,
hello.
Yeah. We're not gonna, I would, if he needed a proxy, I would have still tried to call you, dude, but he didn't.
Call me up.
But it's just like I said. I mean, these last 2 weeks, these numbers are going to climb. It's a testament to everybody that's involved, the proxies, the sportsbook staff, the whole entire hotel staff. I mean, the front desk, everybody that's bringing all these people to the hotel, getting them in, getting them out, everybody at Barry's and Saginaw's and the bartenders. It's a full team effort. I mean, yeah, we're doing the heavy lifting with the apps and all that, but I mean, everybody's playing host. So it's just real cool to be a part of it. Next year when we talk about the chase for 11.5 million or whatever we're talking about,
12.
I mean, we're going to see. Hey, Mike Palm said it the other day, 11.5 million. Some people are taking the over. So we're going to really see how
it's going to be over this year. It's going to be over that this year. You're going to have over 11.5 million this year.
Yeah,
Kev, good stuff. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, then where do we go from next year? So, I mean, it's a fun ride. And the best part is that when contest season is the signups are over, football starts.
Yeah,
football, baby.
We got the games.
We made
Kevin,
we made it. So go Ravens.
Great stuff, man. Appreciate your time. We'll talk again soon down the line. All right.
Always great talking to you guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Good job. I'll see you tonight.
It's Kevin Stevenson from Circa Sports joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. Good to get him on the program talking signups, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, all sorts of fun stuff going on here with that. All right, let's go to the games tonight. Astros at the Phillies, Dave. You got the Blanco Wheeler matchup. This price is a little heavy, no? Minus 170?
I'm telling you, the Astros are just not priced right on a regular. But Wheeler at home tonight. Yeah, I like Phillies.
Astros are the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah, they are.
Them and the Diamondbacks.
I know.
So, if you're texting us, I tried to respond to a couple of text messages on the text line.
Right now?
I got to one. There's a second one that's available. Okay. I can't get to it till later. I was doing it during the talk with Kevin,
geez.
but 702-570-8255. Yeah, it's a hat request from somebody who wants a hat. So
awesome.
We appreciate you guys doing that. And then the Royals are taking on the Guardians here. Big matchup in the American League Central.
Right now,
road
up
favorite.
3-2.
Okay.
In the 7th. The Royals are game 1. So I get a text from a guy back east who was at a book, unnamed right now, but the guy in front of him in line bet 50 dimes on the Royals and 50 dimes on the over.
Okay.
It's
somebody likes that.
7th, so he's splitting that right now. But Royals win game 1, Cleveland wins game 2.
Okay. We love history here with the BVB. This happened today. Danny Jansen will become the first Major League Baseball player in history to play for both teams in the same game. He played for the Blue Jays and the Red Sox today. Game was suspended during his at-bat, meaning he's at the plate, and then he'll turn around and catch for the Red Sox against his own pinch hitter.
So bizarre.
First time in Major League Baseball history. He's not wearing 2 uniforms, though. People are like, is he wearing 2 uniforms? No. But he's listed as the pitcher, as the hitter for the Blue Jays. They then pinch hit for him mid at bat, and he's the catcher for the Red Sox while that at bat is going on.
I saw this in the rundown. I read it again, and I'm still confused. I just want to see it.
It happened. It's done. It already happened.
It was this morning?
Yeah. The game resumed with him at the plate. So then he was then pinch hit for.
Oh.
And he caught his own he caught his own pinch hit at bat.
That is wild. Good.
First time in Major League history.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So there you go. Red Sox, and it's 0-0 in the fifth inning for the Red Sox and the Blue Jays here today. Blue Jays are reeling. Red Sox lost 3 in a row. Big game for Boston. They need to win this to start winning some baseball games here. I got 80 wins. I bet over 77.5, but I said 80 and 82. They got to win 13 games. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
It's going to be right there. They'll get over their win total, but it's going to be
right.
It's going to be tight. Better to book it time. All right, better to book a time. As I mentioned, 10 straight losses on the run line for the Chicago White Sox. They're going for a 4-game sweep. The Tigers are. It's only plus 105 on the run line for the Tigers.
Oh, you froze? That's your first freeze.
Oh.
You froze right there. 135 into the show. Quick freeze. Set your fingers, Jack. Come back. There you are. You're back.
Run line Tigers plus 105. Better to book it.
Again, it's reason number 10 million. We talked about this earlier in the show. Why I'm glad I'm not in the book. Another reason why I'm glad I'm not in the book is I wouldn't have to say book this. I want to bet this. It's way more fun. I don't want anything to do with the White Sox. No, bet it.
Isn't it crazy? My over 83.5 wins for the Diamondbacks was dead in June. It's a lock to hit now.
Yeah.
It's a lock.
Yeah. Oh, that's winning.
It's crazy.
It's winning.
Absolutely crazy. It was 82.5 at the deadline. I mean, at the All-Star break, it was 82.5. The adjusted number it was 82.5. Went down by a game.
Had a great talk again with those guys yesterday. How the trade deadline has made teams that are in it think they're in it when they're really not in it, but it also has made teams that are in it and still want to be in. Like those 2 weeks after basically determine a season. And the Diamondbacks got smoking hot. The Pirates were a game back from the wild card, win 2 of 3, and then lose 10 in a row, and the season's over.
Yeah, the juice. It's now minus 145. I bet it overnight. Last night it was plus 105.
The Tigers run line is minus 145.
I believe that. Who's betting
on
anything
the
else?
road?
Who's betting anything else? They're 3-0 on the run line.
Damn it.
I mean, I believe that. I mean, that's just move the number fast. Plus 105 is probably a mistake.
Oh, man.
Overnight on that.
Going to the Diamondbacks game Saturday night against the Dodgers.
Speaking of line movement, you see this total? New York and Phoenix in the W?
Hold on. Let me
see. Look at that total, what it is now.
WNBA.
Opened at 162.5. I got it at 163.5.
165.5.
Oh, it's back down. It was 167.
Oh, yeah.
This morning.
It's 166 or 165.5.
Okay. Well, yeah. I thought the number was wrong because when these teams have played, it's been 171.5 or 172.5. So it was a strange number to put it up at 162.5.
Is somebody not playing?
No, everyone's playing.
Oh.
It's just that the unders after the Olympic break, unders have been pretty good. Okay, Tigers at plus 106. There you go. That's right. Okay. So didn't move that much.
Yeah.
Okay, the juice. I know what you're looking at. Looking at the wrong book, the wrong price.
Okay.
I mean the money line price of 145. So not the run.
I'll say book
price.
This one because I have no idea.
Okay,
I can't believe you actually came with a
W.
W game. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a week 1 play.
Today?
I went alt.
Oh.
I went alt.
College football?
College football. Clemson plus 14.5, laying 132 against Georgia.
Buy that up?
Yep. FanDuel.
You bought that up?
Yep.
Okay.
You can cross 14, go to 14.5. It's only minus 132 at FanDuel. I think Clemson is live to win the game.
What? Really?
Clemson won their last 5 games to end the regular season last year, right? Cape Klubnik played really, really well, played really well in the bowl game. Just reading the things that Dabo Swinney has said about his development and what they think this kid can do. I mean, 5 years ago, if I told you that Clemson is playing a neutral site game in Georgia, in Atlanta against Georgia, who just lost their best tight end ever, who lost a really good running back, who lost a lot of defensive studs to the NFL. And I know it's Georgia and they reload, but Clemson's not that far off. I mean, Clemson getting 14 points, getting 2 touchdowns in a football game against Georgia. I think this number is too high.
Right.
This is an overreaction in my mind.
It might be. Is this Saturday? Yeah. Wow. Okay.
You
so
can bet
that's
it
a
out,
9
right?
o'clock game?
Vitalis, Clemson to beat Georgia. I think Georgia's going to be pushed. They may win the game, but they're going to be pushed.
Oh, this is the same time as the Penn State West Virginia game. Oh,
Sorry,
man.
This is a better game. This is number 1 versus number 14. This is a better game.
Penn State West Virginia is definitely a better game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Disagree. This is a better game. I'm psyched to watch it. You have rivalry implications with Penn State and West
Right.
Virginia, but not a better game than Clemson, Georgia.
This could be, I don't know, this could be ugly.
A blowout?
If Clemson, how do they win this game? A defensive game?
I don't know. Maybe not. It's college football. If Klubnik plays well and doesn't throw picks, they could win the game just by winning the game. They could score 28.
Total's 49 or 48 and a half.
Yeah. 28-20, 28-20.
Wow.
Somewhere in that range. 30-23. Yeah. Playoff
34-13.
Very possible playoff preview.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much love for Clemson. I think that Klubnik played so well down the stretch, won 5 big games, beat North Carolina, they beat Notre Dame, they beat Kentucky, they beat South Carolina on the road. They won a lot of really big games. I was betting against them so much last year. Now I'm betting on them because I was like, Clemson's not that good. And they completely, about halfway through the year, everything turned and Dabo got this team playing. This number off of last year, in the first half of last year, not the second half of last year for Clemson.
I think there's more questions about Georgia.
I would agree. That's my point. Georgia
We'll see.
wins,
I don't
Clemson
know.
covers.
Georgia wins, Clemson covers. Yeah. Very, very possible. But I'll say right now, I mean, a week before, I'd say book it.
Okay.
Because I like that you laying that 132 juice.
Yeah, I want that. I mean, I bet baseball games at 140. One on bet
Oh, for sure. That's not a bad. Get that number. That ain't never going to be that number. I'll tell you that right now.
No, it's 13 here in town.
It ain't ever going to be that number.
13 at Circa.
Yeah, you getting it over 14 is good. It ain't ever going to be that.
If you guys are watching on the replay on SiriusXM or listening on the SiriusXM or watching on Sports Grid TV, thank you for being here. The rest of you guys who are live on YouTube and on Twitter, you're getting bonus time, which starts right now. I'm going to do that. You're going to get a college football bet every day this week out of me.
For Saturday games?
Oh, just week 1 games.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. So you can load up.
Yeah, slowly just start to build the portfolio and have it be a part of everything.
Well, nothing wrong with getting a number that doesn't exist, and it's not going to exist. I'm just looking at it now. If it gets to 14, that's where the resistance is coming. They're not. It ain't going past.
Not in town here. I don't think they'll ever get back to 14. I mean, it's 13 at Circa. It's 13 at the Westgate. I can't see it getting to 14. Took a lot of money to get it up to 14. All coming in on Georgia, and you got to really like Georgia. That's a tough deal. Roof will be closed. I don't think it really matters all that much for either team have the roof to be closed. Better for passing, obviously, but
with the Mercedes-Benz, it's always closed, isn't it?
No, it has that open thing. You can have an open air.
Okay.
It's like it's the modern dome. You know that whole it's I don't know how do you describe it. It's a circle that closes, but it spins to close and then it opens up. So, favorite thing about today is what?
Well, 2 things. One, I saw the story on Steve Sarkisian last night about I didn't realize he went in. Nick Saban requires all of his coaches to get a physical every year.
Smart.
And Nick Saban went in for, everybody goes in for their physical. Steve Sarkisian goes in for his. And they said, how do you feel? Because you have a potential widowmaker ready to happen any moment. You need to have heart surgery in the next 3 days. Like, we have to get you in. You're a ticking time bomb. And he didn't know. And they went in and they showed this story was open heart surgery, and they fixed them. And basically, he said, Nick Saban saved my life. I could have died at any point. And Nick's like, well, he saved us a couple times when he was coaching here. We're about even. It was an unbelievable story It brought me to tears last night because anytime, like I was that close myself, like not knowing what's going on. So it's just a reminder as men, take care of yourself, go get physicals, go get blood work. It ain't that bad. It don't hurt. Get the colonoscopies, everything you got to get. We're all getting older. You got to take care of yourself and be your biggest person to tell you if you don't have anyone else in your life to tell you. And even if they tell you, we ignore them. So that's number one. Number two, it's the first day of class. And I got the kids were here a little bit in the beginning of the show, but I know they're back east. We had a nice phone call last night. They had the jitters. They couldn't sleep. It was 1:30 in the morning back there, and I get the FaceTime from Mama, and all the kids are up. And I'm like, what time's class? Like, aren't you supposed to be asleep? I know, but I'm fired up, but I'm nervous. I can't sleep, this, that, whatever. And I'm like, okay, go to bed. Everything's going to be fine. And I flipped to this is the Altoona Curve minor league team. It's a Pirate minor league affiliate, but
nice.
Every time you get a curveball in life, like I got this hat just for that because it's a nice curve. And I was thinking, first day of class, Professor Perrault, first day of class for the consig kids and stuff in college. It's curveballs. It's always forward, never straight. Exactly what we talk about every day here on the show. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's my favorite thing about today is just, it's always neat to see, 13, 14 new faces that I've never met before who were all kind of coming in bright eyed and wondering, and what's this going to be like? And you go on this journey for 3-4 months with these kids, and I have them 2 times a week for an hour and a half at a time. And just, it's always neat because I never know. I've got kids who I still stay in contact with that I taught in my first class ever at UNLV. And this is year 5. I can't believe it's my 5th year of starting to teach, but
can't either.
My 5th year of teaching at UNLV to go ahead. Bobby Witt home run, by the way, for you, JC McCasey, another home run for Bobby Witt. It's just, it's a journey that I take very seriously and something that I really do enjoy because I think for so many kids, a bad teacher can be just as impactful as a good teacher. And someone who takes away your joy and someone takes away your love of something or creates an environment that you don't feel comfortable in, or you don't want to go to class and you don't want to be a part of it. And you end up just, I don't know, you can flunk out because of it, or you can have just different. So I just try to be a light for the kids. I want to be something of a beacon and something of a opportunity for them to see themselves or to go, well, this guy can do it. Why can't I do it? And if I want to pursue something of my dream, and, so much of, I try not to make it be stagnant because we talk about passion all the time on this show. And I spend so much time talking to the kids about finding their passion and chasing that dream and whatever it might be. And, fuck the naysayers, whoever tells you can't do it. If you want to do it, only you can tell you're the person that's going to stop you. So I tried to create new, fresh, and cool ways of doing it. And I've never taught the class the same way. This is now going into my 10th semester. I taught it differently 9 different times. So that's, for me, that's the nervousness of ooh, choose your own adventure. Like, what path are we going to wind up going on? So that's first. I can't wait to meet the kids here in a couple of hours. And then for any of you who follows me on social media, tell me that picture is not tremendous. One of my bands. These are ticket stubs from 1995. The first 3 times I saw Oasis play in America. 95 March, 95 October, 96 March. Long time ago. And the hair is still epic. The kids will never know the joy of a ticket stub, unfortunately. You guys will never know the joy of holding that ticket stub in your hand after. And I had a set list and a ticket stub from the first time I ever saw Oasis play here.
Where was it?
At the Avalon in Boston. Their album had just dropped. Nobody knew who they were. I had been an obsessive freak about British music, so I figured out this new band coming over and playing in the States in this tiny little club in Boston, and I saw them behind Fenway Park. They're announcing a new tour tomorrow. They haven't toured in 15 years. The 2 brothers who lead, Noel and Liam Gallagher, have hated each other for 15 years. One phone call solved it all. Like a week ago. Wow. They're going to make so much money. Oasis coming back is going to make so much money. Linkin Park is coming back. This is 1995 all over again. Like it's just everything from the 90s is becoming part of it because you kids don't go to concerts anymore. So us old heads have got to fund everything. So all these concert venues are being filled up with Linkin Park and Metallica and now Oasis. I mean, I swear, I feel like I'm a senior in high school in 1995 all over again. It's very, very strange. So
should I know an Oasis song?
You know a ton of Oasis songs.
Do I?
Yes. It's impossible for you not to have known Oasis songs. Wonderwall. You don't know Wonderwall? Yes, you do.
Oh.
It's impossible. It's every mall track you walk around. It's just been around for 30 years.
Okay.
Going on. And yes, that hair is tremendous, Nathan. And the juice. Oasis is touring. Wonderwall. Everyone knows Wonderwall. Yes.
Okay.
Everyone knows this. What? Should not buy tickets to any Oasis show until the day of. What are the odds they make it to show 3? That's a fair point. They do hate it. They do fight all the time. I've seen Oasis 6 times.
How old are they? Are they 10 years older than us? Like in their late 50s?
I would say, let's see.
I mean, when you were seeing them, you were.
I'm going to say Liam Gallagher is like 55. Let's see how old he is. He is 51.
Oh, okay.
And I think Noel is 2 years younger.
Oh, so they got a run in them.
Oh, yeah. No, they can play for a long time. They can play. But like the second time I saw Oasis, Liam sat on the stage on the little riser for the drums and didn't move. He just sat there and sung the entire time. He was just pissed off. So like if I can see them in London, like I have never been to England and I'm like the biggest Brit music person ever. So if I can pull this off in 2025 when they are touring 10 dates at Wembley, that's what they're playing. I'm going to Wembley Stadium. Well, that's it. Vinny, I appreciate that. Do we know the actual dates?
Hold on. We better get a sponsor or two for the show first.
Let's go BVB in London. Let's go do it in London.
What are we doing?
Let's go. Pat just went to Ireland. Let's go to England. Let's go do the show at a pub. You know how much fun I would have if I could get drunk and listen to, pub music in England? It'd be tremendous. It would be so fun. Fucking drink stout and just go and get. I mean, he was drinking Guinness, but if it's just, they're just London. There's English stouts that are phenomenal as well.
Right.
Oh, that would be so fun. 10 dates at Wembley Stadium. That's amazing. That's the rumor. Press conference tomorrow to make the big announcement as to what they're going to do. I'm going to spend an ungodly amount of money to go to this concert.
Really?
Ungodly. Yes. It is happening. I will see this band 100% in person in 25. It is happening.
All right.
Should be a ton of fun. Back tomorrow. Go listen to Oasis, Dave. You'll go, oh, right. That's Oasis.
Oh, okay. Champagne Supernova. I see that. Thank you very much, Sonic.
Yes, you know, write up all the expenses on our taxes. That's even better idea. That's a great, will be a tax write-off. Let's absolutely do. Let's do it. British Grand Prix. No, Sonic, we're not going to go.
CF1 portion of the show, Addison.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
not going to the British Grand Prix. Back tomorrow for a Tuesday's BBB. Dave and Matt, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it.